Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, and welcome to the show, everybody. I know you can hear me. Second, I am here. I am ready to chat. I'm ready to hang out with you guys. We've got lots of exciting things to talk about. As you guys know, big game against the Mavericks here. I had a little pregame stand up for you. I had a little halftime stand up for you from Ball Arena. And then I got in my car, I hurried home, and now we are doing a post game live. We've got Guerilla Sports' very own Jason, aka Jet, at the stadium, still at the arena. He's going to be feeding us some post-game pressers. So you will get to see Coach Malone talk, a few players talk, hopefully Jokic, although Jokic loves to take his time and he's typically pretty slow out of the locker room, but you'll be seeing it as we get it. So as soon as they're done talking, we're going to send it over to this show. You guys can get a first look at it. So make sure you're tuning into all things Guerilla Sports all the time, because we've got you covered on high quality content of your favorite teams. Big Doug for the Denver Nuggets. Now, lots of ebbs and flows. And if you watch the Nuggets, if you've been a Nuggets fan, hello, Tyler. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for being here. As always, you're one of the OGs of this show. So thank you so much for being here. I've got this handy dandy little thing here that I'm just going to give there we go. That looks a little better to me. Tyler, thanks for being here. Much love to you. If you've been watching the Denver Nuggets for some time, and by some time, I mean either this season or last season or the season before that, you know that it's never safe. It's never safe to feel good about a 6-point lead in the first quarter. And you can never feel defeated by trailing by 3 points at halftime, because this Nuggets team will keep you on the edge of your seat through 4 quarters of basketball. And that's exactly what we see. Per usual, I have stressed this a million times. And if you caught my pre-game stand-up, I mentioned this was going to be a highly offensive matchup with very little defense being played. I encouraged you to take the over. If you did, the over cashed. So you're welcome for that. Hopefully you listened to me and made some money tonight. But that's besides the point. We knew this was going to be highly offensive. This is the first time this Nuggets team has played against the Dallas Mavericks where Klay Thompson has been available and been a Dallas Maverick. So I was excited to watch this one. I knew it was going to be highly offensive. When you've got these offensive firepower machines in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, you just know that you're going to get a lot of points on the board. Jokic ain't real, LMAO. He's going to comfortably average a triple-double this season. Yes, he is, because he's the flipping MVP, and it is just not even close. I can't even believe that at one point people were actually having discussions about Joel Embiid being at the same caliber as Nikola Jokic. I'm still seeing clips on my timeline of former players and commentators and reporters talking about Joel Embiid as if he's in the same stratosphere as Nikola Jokic. It doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me. Now, while there were a lot of good things happening in this game, 5 in a row, yes, nice little winning streak. And honestly, what makes it more exciting to me for them to get 5 in a row is because all 5 were at home. Back during the Nuggets 2023 championship run, their home court advantage was beyond any other team in the league. You knew that if this Nuggets team was playing at home, they had a pretty good chance of winning that game. They defended home court exceptionally well, which boded very well for them when they got home court advantage in the playoffs. Then we saw last year's postseason where home court didn't really matter. The Timberwolves stole 2 games at the beginning of the series on the road in Ball Arena. So it's really exciting to see this Nuggets team get back on track with defending home court well, because when they do that, to me, it gives them an advantage. Absolutely. They have been one of the best teams at defending home court. And then we kind of saw a little bit of a fall off there. Kyrie was burning hot. Yeah, let's talk about, speaking of fall offs, let's talk a little bit about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving went ballistic. And Kyrie Irving is the type of player that can go ballistic against any given defense. But we do know that when it comes to this Denver Nuggets team, their defense has been something that Coach Malone has been frustrated about. And I know as a Nuggets fan, I have been frustrated about. Our defense is lacking. And we've seen that in many games. I mean, these are high scoring affairs, which again is why, to me, take the over. Okay. You're kind of silly not to at this point until this Nuggets team can play some better defense. Ken says Jokic, 37, 18, 15 on 62% field goal percentage. You guys, a Jokic triple-double has lost its value. If you're a betting person and you love betting on the NBA, don't do it. Hashtag shut up, Karen. What a name. Ugly game. Need to clean up ball handling. Westbrook. Ugh, come on, man. We won. I'll take it. That is literally how it feels to be a Denver Nuggets fan. In one sentence right there. It was an ugly game. There were a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of things I would have changed about it, but they won. A win is a win. And I think what frustrates me about the Nuggets still to this point, at this point in the season, is they're typically better than the teams that they keep it close with. On paper, it shouldn't even need to go into overtime against the Nets and against the Raptors, but it did, because this Nuggets team has this very bad habit of putting their foot on the gas and then taking their foot off the gas. And it's very stressful to watch, and it's very difficult to watch. And it is something that they're going to have to clean up as they progress in this season, especially if they want to be a solid playoff contending team. I saw a clip that said, and it was just yesterday actually, and it was posted, and a commentator / reporter, podcaster said, the Nuggets are really struggling right now. If you're used to the Nuggets playing this really sound and very clean and great basketball, yeah, you probably do watch them and say, yeah, they might be struggling a little bit. But to have 5 wins, one of which was against OKC, the best team in the Western Conference, and at that point they were undefeated, and the other being against this Mavericks team, who are the reigning Western Conference champions that made it to the finals last season, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Okay. It's very early in the season. And I'm going to get to your comment in just a second, Cedric, because wow, we have to talk about Payton Watson, because I'm not happy about Aaron Gordon being injured, but the plus of Aaron Gordon being injured is we are getting to see minutes of Payton Watson basketball. And every time he's on the court, he's getting better. He's gaining a little bit more confidence. He's shooting the ball better. Defensively, he's hustling. Even when he makes a mistake in the middle of a game, he's finding ways to correct it, get back on the other side of the floor and make an impact. So very happy by what we're seeing with Payton Watson right now. It was an ugly game, but a win is a win. Josh says Denver needed this win as a fan base. A loss compounded by the 1 second debut. Yeah, could you have imagined? I mean, it would have felt pretty crappy today to go to sleep knowing that both games were winnable, they were within reach, and they just fell through the cracks. So very happy to see the Nuggets end up getting a win, like I said, against the reigning Western Conference champions. This is not a team, despite how non-competitive the finals felt last season, this is still a very talented roster between Luka, Kyrie, and now the addition of Klay Thompson. This team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit of stat lines here. You guys know I like to go through it because sometimes you watch a game like, was it Shut Up Karen or whatever? They hashtag Shut Up Karen. Now we got another one. Hashtag shut up and take my money. What's with all the shut ups here? I'm confused. P SWAT, shut down Kyrie. Well, shutting down Kyrie doesn't feel like the accurate way to phrase what happened in this one, considering Kyrie, 43 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Luka Doncic, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Gafford, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 points for Klay Thompson, 11 for Marshall. Listen, every starter in this on this Mavericks team was in double digits, okay? And Kyrie Irving, 43 points to be exact. Liv, this softens the blow from earlier today. I agree. This does make it a little easier to tuck myself into bed tonight and get some proper sleep, because that Broncos game, if you guys did not see it, in case you missed it, we did do a post-game live show. I drove down to our studio in downtown Denver, filmed that. Then I killed a little bit of time, and then I went to Ball Arena, and we went back right into NBA Nuggets mode and got to watch the Nuggets get a dub. So it definitely made me feel a little bit better after that Broncos game. A win is a win. Shut up, Tyler. Lots of shut ups in the chat. What's the deal? Can we just say be quiet instead, maybe? Anyway, don't be hard on Tyler. He's my friend. Leave him alone. But they won because Liv was there. I'm not sure that that's why we won. But hey, it makes me feel better to think that way. I would love to think that maybe I bring good energy to the building. If that's the case, we're going to keep going to the building because I want to keep seeing this Nuggets team win. Now, the Nuggets are going to hit the road for a little bit. They don't play again until Friday. So this is a really, hi, Mom. Everyone get in the chat and say, hi, Mom. Hi, Mama Moody. She says, I couldn't take another loss today at the end of the game. Go Nuggets. Mom, love you a long time. She is a super Denver sports fan. She actually texted me after the Broncos game and said, I think I'm going to cry. I almost sent her a laughing emoji back, but I felt like that would be rude. I wanted to tell her, hey, you don't need to cry. Everything's going to be okay. It was a great game, but happy to see the Nuggets get a win against a really great offense and a really great team in the Dallas Mavericks. It does make us Broncos fans feel a little bit better. So my big thing still that I need this Nuggets team to work on so desperately. And I would imagine when we run Coach Malone's clip, he'll probably say the same. Defense. We've got to get some stops on defense. That is why this team is so ebbs and flowy here. Okay. Because we get a lead and then we cannot get a stop. This Mavericks team had an answer for every 3-point shot that we had. Any nice layup, any jumper by Jamal that fell. This Mavericks team had an answer for it. So it absolutely is something that this Nuggets team is going to have to continue to build off of, is that defensive play, that defensive hustle. There were some good defensive moments. Hi, Mama Moody. Yeah, everyone just give a little love to Mama Moody in the chat. Let's talk though, because defensively, while I do think there needs to be some serious improvements, we had 2 blocks from MPJ. I loved seeing that. 1 block from Payton Watson. We had 2 from Julian Strawther. I'm really loving watching Julian Strawther play basketball right now. I just am. He's very fun to watch. And I think that he's just going to get better and better. 2 of 5 from 3 tonight for Julian Strawther. 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Now, if you're a points guy, you're looking at Russell Westbrook's game tonight and going, oh, not so great. And it wasn't so great. 2 turnovers for him. I want to see less, but we have had games before where we've seen way more than that. I mean, there's been games where he's had 4 or 5 turnovers. So 2, I will take that. He did have 1 steal. He was 0 of 2 from 3. And, I don't want Russell Westbrook to take on the 3-point shooting as his role on this team, because when you've got a Michael Porter Jr. that's getting hot early, Michael Porter Jr. had 15 points at halftime, 2 of 4 from 3. He found some rhythm early, which is actually the opposite of what we've seen over the last few games. We've actually seen him with some pretty slow starts, and then he found his rhythm. So really, really cool to see MPJ get hot quicker, because we need that. We know Jamal Murray, despite having a pretty good game last game in his first return back from his concussion, is not a guy I trust in that first half. Is he a good closer? He can be. In clutch time, is he somebody that I want to have the ball? Sometimes, yeah. He can make really big plays. At this point in time, if we're down and there are final seconds on the clock, if Jokic isn't shooting the ball, I'm closing my eyes. I don't want to see it. Jokic has by far been the most reliable down the stretch in these games in clutch time when it's to the wire. Jokic is the guy that I want to see with the ball in his hands, driving it to the basket every single time without fail, because he is pretty much impossible to guard at this point. And he is averaging triple doubles like it's his job, and he truly seems to just do it with ease. We've seen some progression from our bench, but tonight, it was not as great. Obviously, we had a lot of injuries in this one, so we didn't see much of our bench playing. We didn't see Hunter Tyson. That was coach's decision per my phone here, and I've really enjoyed watching Hunter Tyson play. Our bench consisted of Najee, Westbrook, and Strawther. That's it. So a lot of minutes played by our starting lineup collectively here. The bench had nothing going, and MPJ couldn't get any separation during bench stints. Yeah, MPJ is one of those guys that really I don't like his game with bench players on the floor. I don't like him with the second unit. And at some point, I hope that changes, because we're going to need him pretty much all the time. But yeah, we couldn't really find our rhythm tonight with that bench. But like I said, a lot of our bench just didn't play at all. We only had 3 guys coming off of the bench and getting minutes. So I'm going to disagree with you, chat. I don't think after this game, based on the progression that we've seen over the last few games, I don't think in this game alone it now warrants us being like the bench is trash. I think our bench is doing enough of what they need to do right now. But we have such a good starting lineup that when our starting lineup plays the game they know how to play, we shouldn't need Russell Westbrook 2 of 3 from 3 or 3 of 4 from 3, right? That's not necessary. You also have to remember that when we get a healthy Aaron Gordon back, we will have Payton Watson back on the bench, and he will be part of that second unit. And right now we're seeing from Payton Watson that he is perfectly capable of playing full minutes in a basketball game. He really is. In this one, he played 39 minutes for Payton Watson, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He was a perfect 4 of 4 from 3. You got to give it up for Payton Watson. And if you've been here with me for some time and you've watched my off-court shows here with Guerilla Sports, you know I have spent a lot of time talking about Payton Watson and the excitement that I had for him this season. So it really did stress me out when we didn't see Payton Watson play at all in the preseason. Honestly, we don't have a lot of bench players that could play in these close games. Now, that part, I will agree with you. I don't have a ton of faith in our bench guys to close out a game. However, if we can develop a system where you've got your starters getting the game going, finding their rhythm, and then you give Jokic some resting minutes and you give Aaron Gordon normally some resting minutes. You get P. Watt in there. Hunter Tyson has been pretty impressive to me. I've been liking what he's been doing. I do think our bench is in a position where they can maintain a lead or at least keep the energy level. And then you can bring our starters back in the game to close out the game. Jokic, to me, is about the only Nuggets player right now that I trust to close out a game, truthfully. The hustle that Christian Brown brings, that's something I can get behind. Absolutely. Do I want him taking a 3-point shot with final seconds on the clock when we need a big score? No, I don't. But I'm very, very excited about what CB has been bringing. Cedric says, needs someone like Tyus Jones or someone who is a good guy. Yeah. I mean, of course we do. Saw a lot of conversations about Lonnie Walker. And can I tell you my fear? I don't want Michael Porter Jr. to be the scapegoat for the fact that we maybe spent too much money on Jamal Murray. I think the fact is the fact. We spent too much money on Jamal Murray, period. I'm going to say it. I've been saying it. I'm not saying that the Nuggets are better without Jamal Murray. I'm not saying that he is not a great basketball player. I'm not saying that I'm disappointed in – maybe I am a little. Maybe I am saying that. Jamal Murray tonight, max contract player, 18 points. I just want more. I want more. And that's why last game, when my notifications are flooded with Jamal is back. No, he's not. That's one game. One game, right? Like we need Jamal in Jamal form often, always. It's got to be consistent. Tonight, Jamal Murray, 18, 2, and 6. 2 turnovers. I did notice while I was at the game, I was like, gosh, he's kind of playing sloppy. Like there were some opportunities for turnovers there that didn't end up happening. Thank God. But I don't know. I just want Jamal to settle in a little bit. Maybe Jamal watched Russell Westbrook from the sidelines not last game, but the game before against OKC and was like, all right, I've got to elevate myself a little bit. That doesn't mean get chaotic because Russell Westbrook plays a very chaotic game of basketball. And while it really works sometimes, other times it's a little stressful. So I don't want Jamal Murray to get in that habit. Josh says, a lot of comments, people. 2 likes, ? Hit the like button, you guys and gals. Let's go. Josh, you know what? I think we might need to get you some Guerilla Sports merch here soon. That's what I'm thinking. You know what? Matter of fact, I need more Guerilla Sports merch because I have a sweat set right now. It is the softest, best sweat set and it's the coolest Guerilla Sports merch ever. I love it. It is so comfortable, and I try really hard not to wear it too often because I'm like, ew, how gross. This is the only one I have. So I think that just means I need to, ring up Blake, who's actually helping us run our show. Everyone say what's up to Blake. I need to ring up Blake and be like, hey, you guys ever heard that TikTok sound that goes, give me 14 of them right now? That's what I need. Guerilla Sports sweat sets. Give me 14 of them right now in every color they provide. I need it. I love it. Yes, that's what we need. So anyway, thank you, Josh. Everyone get in the comments. If you're on X/Twitter, go hit it with a repost. We've got the live stream going out there. We can get some more people in here and get the conversations rolling. Saw some conversations about Lonnie Walker. How do we feel about Lonnie Walker with this Nuggets team? Now, here's my stress, and I kind of started to say this. I don't want MPJ to be the scapegoat for us spending too much money on Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon's staying. Jokic is staying. Jamal Murray's staying. What do you do with MPJ? If you would ask me, if Calvin Booth would have rang my phone and said, what should we do? I would have said, if it's MPJ or Jamal, I don't know if you're going to like my answer, Calvin, truthfully. That being said, it scares me to disrupt the continuity that this Nuggets starting lineup has. It was already scary enough to throw CB in the mix and not know what that was going to look like or how that was going to translate. It translated well, and it looks really good having CB in the starting lineup. But to disrupt the continuity of MPJ, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic might not be worth it to get a little bit of depth on the bench. If MPJ's got to be the scapegoat in order for us to build some depth on the bench, I don't know if I want to do that. I really don't. I think you got to keep the continuity there, really, truly. We know how long it took Jamal and Jokic to find some rhythm and to get that untouched 1-2 punch combination that the league was scared of in their championship run. We saw how long it took for them to establish that. So do we want to take steps backwards just to get some depth on our bench? No, because let's not forget, I don't want this to be a building year. I want this to be the year. But Deron Holmes is also a member of this team still, despite getting injured. He is still here. And at some point, we will hopefully see him in a Nuggets jersey coming in with that second unit. So I'm just not ready to completely start playing chess on this Nuggets team because our depth still lacks our bench still lacks depth. I'm not willing to play chess yet, personally. Exactly. We've already lost KCP. That was a huge blow to this team. Bruce Brown off the bench, yes. If I could go back in time and sit in that room and be a fly on the wall when they are talking about Bruce Brown and whether or not they can afford it, can they make it happen? What's the deal? I would have said, figure it out. Figure it out. Nuggets, yard sale. I don't know what to tell you, but find the money, find the budget. It's got to happen, period. I'm kidding, but I would have really loved to keep Bruce Brown. And now Bruce Brown's just like wasting away. I get it. He's dealing with injury, but didn't he go to Indiana and then he went to, he's bounced around a few different times since being with the Nuggets, and we're not really seeing him make an impact anywhere. And I hate that for him because he is an impactful player. He is really special. So I hate that. I don't like it at all. I would love to have him back. And I do think our bench needs depth still. Absolutely. Without a doubt. That is not in question. I just don't know if it's worth disrupting the continuity of our starting lineup, because I do think you're going to have, I think MPJ is unfortunately going to be a scapegoat in the game of chess if we start moving pieces around. So that's what worries me, and I don't want that. I think you got to maintain that continuity and that rhythm that they've got, because otherwise I think you're playing with fire there. So Payton Watson. I'm not thrilled about Aaron Gordon being injured because I love Aaron Gordon and I love watching Aaron Gordon play basketball, and I think he's very important and he brings an element to this defense that I think right now the Nuggets absolutely need. But my, oh my, has it been fun to watch Payton Watson establish his game. That's what it is. He's establishing his game. In years past, we've seen him come off the bench and have some pretty big moments. But then he makes a mistake and we yank him. So he's not really able to play through these mistakes. Back last season or the season before that, if Payton Watson would have missed those late game free throws, we probably would have seen limited minutes from him the next game. But he missed those free throws and he hustled down the court and he got a block that ultimately helped them win the game against OKC. So we're seeing Payton Watson make some really smart decisions on the floor in the middle of these games in order to be impactful on both sides of the floor. And I love it. This bench theory is untrue based on facts. Nuggets bench ranked 7th overall last year. It was 26th. Make it make sense. I don't think I can make it make sense. I don't think I can. You know, here's what I struggle with. Our starting lineup's not playing defense a whole lot right now. So in these games where we should pull ahead by way more than we do, that is great opportunities for our bench to get minutes, to find their rhythm, they're not going to grow just sitting there. They're not going to get better not playing in these games. They're just not. That's the fact. So in order for this bench team to grow and establish their game and to find their rhythm and to get on track, they've got to play. Well, we can't put them in the game when these games are way too close for comfort and you need a Jokic, a Jamal, an MPJ, Aaron Gordon normally, but a Payton Watson in this case, and a CB in this case. We can't let our bench play and find their rhythm when our starters don't have an answer defensively for their opponents, and these games are far too close for comfort. You really want to put Hunter Tyson in the game when it's going back and forth and Kyrie Irving just made his 40th point? Doubt it. Yeah, doubt it. P-Watt was great except for the dunk. Yeah, it was close. It was a close one. I think he just needed a little more oomph. Like he just needed to just smack it in there, you know? I say all that, and if you tried to give me a basketball right now and told me to dunk, I'm not sure it would go very well. Tony says, sorry, Liv, our bench is ranked 7th best this year. Last year, it was ranked 26th. Okay. I hear what you're saying, Tony. I was like, wait, what? I'm really not worried about our bench right now. I'm not. My biggest concern at this point in time is defense. That's it. It's defense. We have no answer from the 3-point line. Our perimeter defense is lacking. We had no answer for Kyrie Irving tonight. We let the Miami Heat team score how many points without Jimmy Butler? You know what I'm saying? So like the defense has got to be, it's got to be worked through. It's got to be problem solved because as of now, it's a bit of a stressful situation. Stressful situation. We need proof. You got to dunk the ball. No chance. No flipping chance. I will end up in the hospital. If I try to dunk a ball, I will end up in the hospital. And that's just the facts. And so I unfortunately don't think I can make that happen. I would love to try at some point in my life, but for now, I'm not thinking it's a good idea. I'm not thinking it's a good idea because I think I would hurt myself pretty bad. So defensively, the Nuggets still have a lot of work to do. Kyrie Irving scoring 43 points is just, he can do it on any given defense. That's a fact. We know this about his game. He's pretty much unstoppable when he wants to be. By the way, you guys, I'm just now looking at this camera screen, realizing that my whole set's like this, tilted, and it's actually driving me crazy. I'm trying my best not to get up and fix it. I'm just going to leave it for now, but I am realizing everything is like this. So I should talk like this to you, and then everything looks straight. Perfect. But I can literally see what the problem is. I'm staring right at it, and it's irking me to my core, but that's fine. What's the plan for Saric? Is he done or what now, Liv? He needs to be. Oh, did I say that? Is this thing on? Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. He needs to be. Saric minutes were about to send me into cardiac arrest. That's a fact. I can't do it anymore. Can't. I think that we had a lot of high hopes for Saric. I mean, he's just getting bullied out there. He's not when he's out there, things get worse, and then Jokic is not being alleviated at all of the minutes that he has to play, and Saric just to me is not the answer. He's not. I don't think that he is one that I would keep around. I know that sounds harsh, but you got to be harsh at this point in time. Tyler says Saric somehow found a way to make Reggie Jackson minutes. Right. I thought Reggie Jackson gave me heart attacks. No, Saric is like on another level with stressing me out when he's in there. I mean, it's just scary hours. It's just scary hours. So at this point in time, we've got head coach Malone. Like I said, we've got Jason out there getting us as soon as Coach Malone is done talking. You guys have access to it. So let's take a listen at what Coach Malone has to say about that very close against the Mavericks.
At least 18 rebounds and at least 15 assists, at least not as far as we could find. What did you see from Joker tonight as an opportunity to kind of showcase how great he is?
Well, I would assume that after tonight's performance, he'll probably be like fifth in the MVP voting early in the season. So he's just got to do more for us because what he's doing hasn't been noticed by everybody outside of this Rocky Mountain empire. But 37, 15, and 18, 3 steals, the number of pick and rolls that he guarded tonight, the minutes that he played. 38 is actually a good number. I'm pretty happy about that. You know, we kept him under 40. But no, on a serious note, just incredible. We're all running out of words, adjectives, and ways to describe his greatness and his impact. And I think the simple way to say that, he's the best player in the world. That's the best way you can say it, in my opinion.
Coach, Michael Porter hadn't taken a shot until the final in the fourth quarter. Just
Big one.
obviously, the play wasn't designed to go to him, but what did you see on the read from the two-man game and how Mike responded?
Well, yeah, and on the first part of that is obviously Mike got going early, and obviously I got to do a better job of keeping him going. He's been playing at such a high level across the board. I think he's averaging, close to career highs in a lot of offensive categories. So that's on me to keep Michael Porter hot and make sure we're feeding him and giving him looks, because the best part about Michael, like, he had 4 more assists tonight. Like, he's playing the game. It's not like he's just coming off and shooting bad shots. Michael's reading it. I'm not open. Let me pass. Let me cut. Let me make a play for somebody else. So I got to do a better job of keeping him going throughout. But to your point, what a weapon to have late in the game, close game, one possession game, where a guy who hasn't touched it or shot it in a while winds up making probably the biggest shot of the night. So I appreciate Michael's patience and his ability to stay in it, because it's never about the individual. It's about the collective, and Michael was a great example of that tonight.
You got 2 threes that Kyrie missed, or the 2 in the last night, contested by Payton and Christian. What do you tell guys defending him when he is as hot as he is, and what do you see from them from a discipline standpoint on those last couple of games?
Yeah, well, a couple of things with that. One, you got to give him credit. I mean, he's a special player. One of the greatest ball handling guards ever, and one of the greatest finishing guards ever. Think about that. There's been some great guards in this league, but Kyrie is one of those guys. Jersey kid, great handle, could finish against anybody. So I felt there were some shots, Bennett, that we could, hey, that's a really tough shot. But then there were also, we're supposed to take him off that 3-point line, and we had guys that were backing up, inviting that shot. Those are the ones you have to take away. It gets to a certain point where we have to send the body at him, get the ball out of his hands. And I still think we could have done a much better job of doing that and relying on the fly around behind that. I thought OKC, we did a really good job of that. Tonight, I thought it was good, but, it's going to have to be better. I was proud. In the first half, they dominated the paint, 42 in the paint. Second half, only 20. We only gave up 10 made threes, which has been a big issue for us, as I mentioned pregame. So it wasn't always perfect, but, we only played 8 guys tonight, and I felt our guys stayed with it. And it's another a game where it went down to the wire. So our clutch games, seems like every damn game goes down to the wire. Just a great way to end a 5-game homestand.
2 of those 5 wins, last second, Payton Watson did make a shot. And he's still learning how to play this game.
He is, and he's, making big plays for us. I mean, you can see the three-point shot, the confidence he's shooting the ball really well, which is great. But at the end of the day, Payton Watson's calling card is defense, is blocking shots, is making plays around the rim. All the other stuff is gravy. I think Payton, you never want to see a guy like Aaron Gordon get hurt, but the silver lining to that is Payton Watson's being thrown out there with the starting group and thriving and playing well. And that's only going to help him and us as we move forward.
You really cut down on the rotation these last couple, I suspect, in part because you've got 4 days off coming up. How much goes into getting and opening that rotation back up going forward as you continue to progress?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason we didn't go to our 9th guy tonight, which would have been Hunter, is that I tried to match Payton and Luka. So that kind of made it hard to get that 9th guy in there. And you're right. I mean, part of it was looking at our schedule. We've been playing every other day, knowing that we don't have another game until Friday. Now we get a chance to kind of give our guys a break mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever you need. Go out there and get it. And then we can get back at it and go on this 3-game road trip and try to continue to play at the same level that we're playing at. But again, could not be more proud of our group for protecting our home court, winning 5 in a row, and finding different guys and different ways to win each game.
Talk about Mike's game winner, but he also battled Gafford on that. You can test down there. How big was that possession for you?
Oh, really big. To your point, I mean, you don't just win games on the offensive end. You need guys to step up and make really big defensive plays. Whether that's blocking a shot like Payton did in the OKC game, whether that's Michael getting engaged. I thought Julian Strawther had a couple of big plays tonight defensively. So those are the types of game-saving plays because if you look at our body of work in 10 games, every possession really matters. It never comes down to that last play. We're winning games by 1, 2, 3, 4 points, so you got to rely upon those game-type plays, and we're getting quite a bit of them, from everybody. And that's, Nikola, we talked about how great he is, but he's getting help from a lot of other players, which is what we need.
Do you do anything to apologize to Nikola when you have to play him so many minutes for such a stretch of games?
No, man, you see his paycheck? You see his paycheck? I mean, come on, man. No, actually, after last game, he was in the training room. I went in there just to talk to him, see how he's doing, how his family's in town, just kind of. And I said to him, hey, I know that when we're in the second quarter and there's 10 minutes on the clock and I'm saying, Nikola, let's go, and you're looking at me like this, Coach, already? And I go, yes, already, brother. But he understands. He's a warrior. But I will say this. I don't know how sustainable it is to play Nikola 38 to 40 minutes every night. Let's be honest. We're 10 games in. I think we're 7-1 now in our last 8. That is great. But we've also got to find ways to continue to find some other options off of our bench. That makes sense. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Listen. I have said this. If you have been on this show with me for the last all 10 games that we have been together on this journey, you have heard me say that exact statement, which is it is not realistic to play Nikola Jokic damn near 40 minutes every single night in order for this Nuggets team to be successful. So to the comment section's concern of Jokic playing too much and our depth needing to be improved, yeah, absolutely. But again, that also to me is largely in part to our starting lineup not being able to have defensive stops. Lombardi Lee says, Liv, it's nice to see you tonight. It was a close game tonight, and the Mavericks, with the Mavericks. Thank you so much for liking my tweet. Of course, thank you for always being engaged with my content. It means the world, and I do see all of it all the time. So thank you. Yeah, the Denver Broncos did get a cover, couldn't get a win, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And actually, the Nuggets couldn't cover tonight. I believe they were 3.5-point favorites, only won this one by a close 2 points. They couldn't get it done either. Hashtag shut up, Karen. Might be the best name out there. Malone, we are going to enjoy this break, get back to basics with defense. I'm going to get a refill on my stress meds. See you Friday. Love you, Liv. Love you back. Hashtag shut up, Karen. This is a really great opportunity, though, for this Nuggets team to get a little bit of rest. again, Jokic, I loved Coach Malone's response to, hey, do you ever feel bad having to play Jokic so much? He's like, do you see his paycheck? Absolutely not. I don't feel bad. This is this man's job. And when you're that good at your job, you're going to be used more. And that's just the reality of it. Can Vlatko take Joker minutes instead of Saric? Yeah, that's probably going to be the answer. Which is a little scary because I'm not sure how I feel yet about Kankar, but definitely feel better about him than I do about Saric at this point. I just don't think Dario Saric is the answer here, and I don't think ultimately you end up just doing Nikola Jokic a disservice because he has to play even harder to get us back into games when we lose so much when Saric is in there. So no, it's not over yet. What's not over yet? Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something. I wish Deron Holmes was healthy, Liv. I do too. And that's why I'm not quite ready to just say our bench is trash, get rid of them. This is bad. We need to just make some moves. When you start playing chess, you start really messing with the continuity of this team. And I don't think that you can handle that. The break, Liv. Like the break that they've got? Well, the Nuggets don't play again until Friday, and they are in New Orleans. So they do have a little bit of time. I don't want to say break because, they need to be, they need to definitely still be training and defensively finding some answers for these teams that they're going to face, because even the Pelicans have quite a few shooters on that team that if you don't slow them down, could be a bad deal for them. Is Jokic going to match LeBron in MVPs this year? I sadly think voter fatigue is going to play a factor in Jokic not getting an MVP this season. Do I agree with that? Absolutely not. Unless it is unanimous and this Nuggets team is a pretty high seed in the Western Conference and making the playoffs, which I know it's a regular season award, but let's be real. I think that the voters are going to try to find every way to discredit what Nikola Jokic is, who Nikola Jokic is, and how phenomenal Nikola Jokic is. So unless it is a landslide, I don't see him winning MVP this season. I don't agree with it, but I think voter fatigue will absolutely be a thing. Great game and great win for the Nuggets. Yes, it absolutely was, Anthony. Very, very great game. Again, I hate these down to the wire, really close games because they don't need to happen. This Nuggets team is too talented. They get these leads in the games. They're looking really good. They're looking really strong. And then defensively, we just don't have an answer for guys like Kyrie Irving or Shea or whoever it may be. And the games end up being way too close for comfort. He's going to average a triple-double. Yeah, he's been doing that. He's phenomenal. And it just, I don't agree with him not being considered because he's had 3 already. I don't agree with it at all. But I think it's been very tough to this point for people to give Jokic the proper credit that he deserves. And I think because it's already been so difficult for them to give credit where it's due, it's going to be exceptionally difficult given the nature of how competitive the Western Conference is alone. I mean, we're seeing Anthony Davis even having MVP-like numbers this season. And we know Jason Tatum's going to be up there, and we know SGA is going to be up there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stiff competition up top. I'm not worried about Joel Embiid getting in there at all because, I mean, as of right now, he's not playing due to a little confrontation with a reporter in the locker room. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think voter fatigue will absolutely play a role in this, and I don't agree with it, but I do think that they're going to make it. They are going to make it as hard as humanly possible for Jokic to win MVP. So unless it is unanimous and it's a landslide and there is just no comparison, he won't get it. There is something in this league. There is some sickness in this league, sickness in people's brains where they just refuse to admit how good Nikola Jokic is at basketball. It doesn't matter what his number. It's so funny. The stat guys that are like, oh yeah, Russell Westbrook, look at his stat line tonight. He's worthless. He's nothing. Westbrook, look at his points, are the same people that want to ignore the stat line of Nikola Jokic when it comes time to vote for MVP. I'm sorry. Pick a side and stay there. Say it with your chest. Are you a stat guy or aren't you? Because if you are a stat guy, to me, Nikola Jokic should have had 4 by now. And it shouldn't even be close. But they always find something to say. Even when Nikola Jokic got his first MVP, it was like, Yeah, he's good, he's fine, whatever, but he doesn't have a ring. Then he gets a ring, and there's a new excuse. What's the new excuse? I don't know. I can't keep track. I mute people like that because it's just nonsense that flies out of their mouth. We did see, though, outside of Nikola Jokic with a damn near 40-point triple-double again. He's already done that this season. But besides him, we did see an early start from Michael Porter Jr., and head coach Malone talked about that. It was really exciting to see Michael Porter Jr. get hot early and find his rhythm early. Some threes were falling, and he had some big defensive plays in this one. So overall, really, really great performance by Michael Porter Jr., and we actually have his post-game presser talking all things Mavericks versus Nuggets. Again, a hot start for him. He looked really great on both sides of the floor. So let's take a second and check out what MPJ.
I've always
has
been
to
able to
say.
make plays like that, but what I saw was Jamal swung it to me, and he kind of was in a crowded situation. I forget how much time was on the clock, but I felt like if I gave it right back to him, he would have ended up having to take a real tough shot. And so Kyrie was on me, and I just got to step on him off the closeout and got an easy, clean look at a floater. So that little in-between shot, it was a good look.
Coach said he has to do a better job of finding you more throughout the game, especially when you start as hot as you did. Just can it be difficult to restart yourself and keep yourself in that mode, in that scoring mode when the ball doesn't find you out?
Yeah, it happens to different players throughout the game in general. You know, when I'm getting going, other guys may not touch it as much. When other guys get going, I might not touch it as much. So it's not something I'm not used to. But I got going in the first quarter and didn't see the ball much after that. But I just tried to stay ready throughout the second half, just in case. You know, I had to hit a big shot down the stretch. I tried to stay in the mindset of being ready to score. Even at swing out the play before where Joker kind of got doubled. Not doubled, but Clay kind of, bluffed at him, and then he threw it out. Like, I was ready to shoot it, but Clay got out there quick, and so I dumped it back down. But I just tried to stay in a locked-in mindset.
You also had a huge play in the defensive end right before, and talking to you, I know you know who to score, but you take almost as much pride in the fact that you can get that defensive stop in the rotation with the effort as you do that you hit the game when you're walking.
Yeah, that was a big play as well. Just down the wire, that was definitely a big stop. Down the wire, yeah, you're just trying to do whatever you can to win. So whatever you can do to help your team win.
Michael, you don't show a lot of emotion by that time, but when you made that floater, what was your reaction inside on the Michael Porter joy meter? Where was that?
I was happy it went in, but I did realize that there was, I think there was 6 or 7 more seconds left, and the way Kyrie and Luka were going, I was more concerned, the shot. I could make that shot, but I was just Kyrie was hitting everything, so the game wasn't won by any means. I was more kind of worried about getting that last stop as a team.
Between Nikola, Jamal, Kyrie, Luka, it's a lot of high-level shot making going on throughout this entire game. All these guys are insane. Just when you're going up against high-level shot makers like that, what can you do? What's the first thing you try to do when Kyrie's going off like that, especially?
I know that a lot of those shots seem difficult to people watching, but because I my whole life have made tough shots, I know what really good basketball players are capable of making. So whether it's Nikola, Luka, Kyrie, Jamal, even though they look like tough shots, when you're in rhythm and you can get your shot off, it's just muscle memory at that point and memorizing where you're at on the floor. So, Kyrie, the way he's able to create space and the way he was hitting shots from the mid-range, from the three-point line. He had a couple crazy drives with left-hand layups. So he had it all going tonight. But, there's a lot of guys in this league that are capable of getting it going, and it's just on us to try to cut their water off before it gets to 40 or 45. You know what I mean?
Michael, Coach Malone was just raving about you in the postgame, and he said the best part about Michael, he had 4 assists, he's playing the game. Where do you feel you are right now as a playmaker and able to impact the passing part of the game right now compared to previous years?
I think I got a lot of guys on the team that are easy to play with, play off of. CB does a great job cutting, so it's easy to hit him in transition, hit him cutting. When 2 guys step up, when I'm able to get past the guy on a closeout. So that was easy, a couple assists to Joke. But just trying not to force anything and realizing just trying to win games. Not really. I don't think any of us are too concerned about individual stats. We just want to continue to gel as a team and continue to win. So that's kind of my mindset.
This is your 7th straight game with 15-plus points. It's the second longest streak of your career. The other one was when Jamal was out. To us, or to me at least, it looks like your game is really leveled up. Is there something that's kind of more of them for you this year? Opportunities are different?
I don't know. I mean, I think trying to be aggressive, trying to just, look for my spots is one thing I'm focusing on. But and then really just it's about all the little stuff off the court, trying to keep your body ready, stay available, and if other guys aren't able to play, I want to be one of those guys that is able to play and be reliable. And maybe my role does change if Jamal misses a game or Aaron's not able to play for some time. But I think for me, it's just trying to stay available, which it really is a lot of hard work considering everything I've been through. I think the thing that I'm proud of most right now for me is just the way I'm able to play most games, considering, my past injuries and things like that. So.
Joker tonight had 37, 18, and 15. No one's done that as far as I can find in the database. When you guys look at the stat sheet in the locker room, what do people say when he has nights like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's games where he's getting triple doubles, but it's not even close triple doubles. It's not like it's 22, 10, and 11. I mean, 37, 18, and 15 is pretty crazy. And it's so crazy too because he just does it throughout the entirety of the game, so it doesn't feel. Even when he scores 35 or whatever, it doesn't feel like he ever just got it wasn't allowed. He can do that every single night. It's not allowed 37, 18, and 15. He just does it throughout the course of the game, and it's just normal for him. So, I mean, his consistency also comes from taking care of his body off the court. I mean, he's that productive night in, night out because of the way he takes care of his body and the time he spends in the weight room with Felipe and Klaus. Time he spends on recovery. I mean, he's one of the last ones to leave every night, regardless if we win or lose. And so that's a testament to his discipline.
One more question.
You guys have 4 days off coming up. I know that's kind of an abnormal thing during the schedule. Do you guys look forward to that much off time, or does it take down to
Yeah, we look forward to it.
Fair enough.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
As you guys know, I love to throw in little random life tidbits in here. Question for the chat. Unrelated to basketball. Question for the chat, and it's a genuine one. Do you chew your smoothie as you drink it? I know that sounds crazy. Listen, it is a liquid. It's a drink, technically, but sometimes there's little bits of ice. Sometimes there's little chunks of fruit. I chew every sip of my smoothie. Call me a sociopath if you want. That's fine. Crumble Cookies, welcome to the chat. Crumble Cookies, I'm with you. This is a really good spot for this Nuggets team to be in. Obviously, taking down the reigning Western Conference champions puts them in a really good spot. You also said this game not being televised is a crime against humanity, and that's exactly why you should follow and subscribe to all things Guerilla Sports, because we know it can be very difficult to watch this Nuggets team play, especially if you live in Denver. We are here to provide you post-game pressers, play-by-play moments, box score updates, content from pregame, content from halftime. We are doing our very best to keep you up to date as much as possible if you do not get access to these games. So that is all the more reason to make sure you are tuning in to every Nuggets game that Guerilla Sports is covering, which should be just about every single one this season. We are going to do our very best. Today was a crazy day for me. I had some stuff to do in the morning for work. Had to rush over and do a post-game live show for the Broncos, and then went over to Ball Arena to cover the Nuggets. So we are doing our very best to make sure you guys are covered on all fronts as it pertains to all things Denver sports. I chew the little pockets of my, thank you. Am I I thought I was crazy. I do. I take a sip and I'm like, and then I actually think that it's like a sensory thing where I don't think I could swallow a smoothie without chewing it. I think I would feel like I'm choking. Yeah, see? Okay, so I'm not insane. That's not a very psychotic thing to say. I thought maybe I was going to be the weirdo in the chat. Oh, Mr. Exquisite Nugget says, I don't chew. No. So Melody is dead said, my smoothies are usually really smooth. That would be the best way to drink your smoothie is if it's very smooth. But sometimes, you get a smoothie from a place and they don't, I don't know. They just don't. That smoothie better be good for, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But you guys, we are going to wrap things up here. We've got nearly 2,000 of you tuning in right now. And again, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me every night that we've had a Nuggets game. It's been a lot of games back to back. It feels like not really back to back, but we've had some pretty, heavy weeks of basketball and then the crossover with the NFL. It's been a lot, but you know what? I'm so blessed to do what I do, and especially to do with Guerilla Sports. We have so many exciting things on the horizon that we get more and more excited to talk about. Every time I'm on here, you guys know I'm gassing up Guerilla Sports because I just love what we're doing here and what we're building and what we're creating, and love the people I work with. But yes, it can be very frustrating to not be able to watch the Denver Nuggets. I have been there myself. And it's a little stressful at times. You're like, this is a great game. Why can't I watch it? Well, we at Guerilla Sports are going to do our very best to give you guys everything you need in terms of coverage and hot takes. I will be live tomorrow, actually, 11 a.m. Mountain Time from the Guerilla Sports studio to talk all things football and Denver Broncos. We're going to break down that Broncos Chiefs game on a deeper level with Nate Jackson, BK, and myself at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And then around 12 p.m. Mountain Time, I always say 12, but if you guys have ever watched our off-field podcast, we get to chatting. BK, he's a chatterbox. Nate and BK are fighting like brothers, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'm just going to let us have our moment. And then I'm also usually off on a tangent talking about, do you chew your smoothies or don't you? So those shows can run a little long, but right after we go live with Off Field, I will be live with Off Court, talking all things Denver Nuggets. May have BK join me for that. I'm not sure what his day looks like. He's a busy guy getting us all things stuff, all things for Broncos, as well as helping out with the Nuggets as well. So we've got a lot of stuff coming your way. I will be live 11 a.m. Yes, like Josh said, hit the like button. Give us a follow. Also, we have audio versions of all of our podcasts. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to see Liv's face, I'm not in the mood today, but I just want to listen to what they have to say, we've got audio versions. But like I said, we've got you covered on all things Denver sports, and we've got more coming your way, okay? If I have anything to do with it, we'll be talking about every sports team in the NFL, NHL, and NBA here very, very soon. But for now, and we still do, on our off-field shows, we talk about a lot of different things. So just make sure you're tuning in. You're the best. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for being here. There's a lot of people in here. We've got Tony. We've got Tyler. We've got Anthony. We've got Gary. Liv is fire. Tony, you are fire. Thank you for being here. Seriously, means the world. I know it's late. Again, I say this every time. If you're on the Eastern time zone, it is 11:30 there, and you're still hanging out with me, and we're having a good time. So I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for being here. Much love to all of you. Actually, kind of a cool moment. I bumped into Vic Lombardi tonight, and I obviously know who he is. If you're in Denver and you follow sports, you know who he is. And we kind of did one of those little hi, whatever moments. And then he turned around and he's like, "You're Liv, right?" I was like, "Yes, I am." And he's like, "Hi, I'm Vic." I'm like, "I definitely know who you are. Love your work. Followed you for years." And he's like, "You're doing some really great things right now, and I'm loving what you guys are doing at Guerilla Sports." So there you go, guys. We're doing some really great things right now, and we're very excited about it, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. So we're going to continue to keep crushing all things. Anthony, happy early birthday. Your birthday is on Tuesday. Happy early birthday to you. Love you guys long time. Have a great night. If you're out and about, drive home carefully, please. We'll be live tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow from the studio at 11 a.m. and again around 12 or maybe 12:30, but you can catch me for both of my shows, Off Field and Off Court, tomorrow. And then we'll have a little break from Nuggets games, but I'll still do my regularly scheduled Nuggets show on Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. And then Friday, we'll have a game. They're on the road. One love, fam. Thanks all. Shout out to Blake, our CEO. We could not do any of this without him, and we love him dearly. So thank you guys for being here. Much love. Have a great night, and we will touch base with you tomorrow as well as Thursday. And then we will absolutely keep you covered. Although they're on the road, we will keep you covered with that Nuggets game on Friday against the Pelicans. So make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, following, all the things to All Things Guerilla Sports, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.